Temu, the youngest company to ever run a Super Bowl commercial after only 5 months post-launch in the US, captivating millions of viewers, propelling their growth to that comparable of the world's largest online retailer from 2021, Shein. So it's the most downloaded free app on both the App Store and Google Play for much of the last 2 months. The items on Temu are also exceptionally cheap, up to 90% off in some cases. And it also keeps its products affordable by connecting consumers directly to the suppliers and kind of cutting out that middleman. So today I'm joined by Matt.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah. So we would love to know kind of your thoughts on what's going on here and kind of how their strategy is impacting the broader market.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting what's happening now. I think there's a couple of things at play. I just bought a $4 hydro flask, which is insane. You know, those water bottles that I think retail for like over, I don't know, $80 or whatever it is. I bought it for $4 and it had 90 days return and it had free shipping, which is wild. It kind of reminds me of Wish, which I know, I think they did it over $2 billion in 2021. I don't think they're anywhere special right now, but I think they're in an interesting place because, you know, if I think about consumers right now here in Australia, you know, people are strapped for cash. They're looking for low cost options. They're looking for budget options. They're kind of, their discretionary spending is drying up a wee bit. So these kind of lower cost competitors are probably in a pretty good place to try and take some market share. And I know that we are definitely seeing Temu advertising, Shop Like a Billionaire or whatever their slogan is, appear much more frequently up against our clients and their brands. And I think even if you look at some of the shopping feeds right now, if you Google, I don't know, handbag, if you look at the Google shopping feed, it's just stacked with Temu ads.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. So I think it's a pretty interesting time.
Yeah. So what do you think, you kind of mentioned there about how brands are a little more strapped for cash. Some of them are struggling a little bit more than they might have been during kind of COVID area. What do you think brands should be doing to kind of compete with, brands like Temu that are kind of popping up?
I think direct competition on price, unless you're, you know, that's what you've built your business on, that's a tough battle.
Yep.
You know, that's a tough battle because I know that these large marketplaces are, and that's what Temu is. It's a large marketplace business. You know, they're not like Amazon where they're a marketplace and they have their own products. They're just willing to go out and acquire customers, spend money acquiring customers for nothing and make a loss doing it. So I think number one is differentiation. So thinking about how you can differentiate your brand, your positioning, your value proposition to a customer is really important. And that means different things to different people. Differentiation is like a funny word and it seems really easy to say, but it's actually really hard to do. So I think that's the first thing is really thinking about, okay, cool. We can't, you know, compete directly on price, but what are the other things that we can differentiate? How can we bundle our products? How can we better target our customers, or how can we innovate on our product? Knowing that, you know, Temu, all they seem to be doing is they got a lot of counterfeit and, you know, duplicated products, same as kind of what Wish had dealt with. So I think that's number one. And I think number two is, you know, something that people often talk about, but nobody really ever does. A lot of people talk about being customer centric, which is a cool, you know, marketing, positioning, business word, but really it means like ask your customers what they want. You know, get really close to your customer and really deeply understand their needs. And then from there, you can start to build a differentiated position. You need to look for the things that, you know, these other marketplaces won't be able to do. They're not going to be speaking to customers. You know, that's not their business. Their business is scale of products as cheaply as possible, get them into customers' hands, and then hopefully we can get our customers to buy a couple of times from us. That's kind of their play. So I would say those two would be the biggest ones is, you know, think about your value proposition and how you can differentiate, and then speak to your customers.
Yeah, kind of leading into that as well, just around that whole customer side of thing. What do you think customers should be thinking about before purchasing from these brands? I mean, obviously, Temu would not be targeting the same customer that maybe like a luxury brand is targeting. Obviously it's completely different, but how do you think that consumers should be kind of viewing this like high mass produced products in terms of like sustainability and just current climate?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it there. They're high mass, it's like scale products, right? Yeah. It's hard because there are going to be consumers out there that are really strapped for cash, and they're going to be drawn towards these type of products. You know, everybody loves a deal. Everybody loves a deal, and it's that balance between, you know, value in terms of what you're paying and price in terms of what you're paying and value in terms of what you actually get from it. So for these, I would say, household products, I wouldn't be surprised if more people are choosing options like Temu. And then for products that maybe represent an individual, they're probably going to stay with their types of brands, their core brands. In terms of sustainability, yeah, I'm sure Temu has an angle there to make and position their business to look more sustainable. I know that Shein's investing in sustainability methods. It doesn't mean the business is sustainable, and I won't pretend to kind of know their entire supply chain, but you don't have to go far to kind of think, hey, for $4, how does this make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that's the other one, is like being just, you know, aware that the product that is being manufactured, it's got to go through a couple of sets of hands, and for $4, logically, somebody's going to lose in that.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think we've kind of talked about this in the past. I know with some of our current clients as well, about kind of sustainability is a really nice thing to have, but it's not something that I think as many consumers are thinking about as brands may think. And I could be wrong there, but I know, you know, it, especially kind of in this climate with interest rates and things like that, things are more expensive. People, as I said, are a little bit more strapped for cash in what we're seeing with some of our clients' businesses. If, you know, you can kind of get the same product or something that's maybe less of a quality, but essentially the same thing for cheaper, that's just sort of where people are going to go to at the moment, I feel. Yeah.
I mean, that's a really good point. I don't think Shein would have the business that it has right now if price wasn't a key factor.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
You wouldn't have billions of dollars of, clothing being sold and transacted if 100% of customers cared about sustainability, because, you know, the practices that they have are probably not the most sustainable when compared to a brand like Patagonia, who thoroughly examines their supply chain and their impact on society and their community and the planet. So, I think sustainability, while a great table stake to have in economic downturn or where there's pressure on consumers' wallets, people are going to pick cheaper stuff that does the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's just kind of, that's business, right? And so I think it's on brands and teams, on founders, on marketing teams and consultants to kind of like, you know, find a way to maintain sustainable positioning while competing with these large marketplaces.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for that lovely insight. Do you want to close us out?
Yeah, I think Temu is very interesting. Don't be afraid to think about how you can compete with them. Don't be afraid that they're showing up in your shopping feed and showing up in your advertising channels. Fight the fight if they're counterfeiting your products, and think deeply about how you can differentiate your products, how you can differentiate your business and your positioning against a lower cost competitor, and just speak to your customers, because Temu's not speaking to their customers. Just get really close to your customers, get really close to what they want, and no business ever goes broke with happy customers.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
I love it. See ya.
Bye.